Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. The Sage of Southern California is right here in New York City. Does de Blasio know, Miller? Does de Blasio know you're here?
He reminds me of Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble together, doesn't he? Look at that big doofus thing happening.
Isn't the city falling apart, is what I'm saying?
It just took me 60 minutes to get up 6th Avenue from the Village.
It's like, you guys ever see the movie Escape from New York?
Yeah.
De Blasio is really Snake Plissken. I mean, you just put him in an eye patch, the whole city is destroyed.
Hey, you look at the crime rates here, he's blind in both eyes. Like Snake.
Now, you're just back from Africa. You were over in Africa for a while.
By the way, good to see Frank Luntz. You ever notice Frank, every time he's talking about something, he brings it back to pie. You know, like it's always baked into the pie.
Frank likes pie, okay.
It's like Frank Luntz.
Now, do you even have time to pay attention to Fred presidential? You're traveling all over the place?
Billy, I didn't see one of the debates. I missed all three, and you know, it's great. I was out in Africa. I was out on safari, and then last night I got in to New York from over there, and I was wiped out. I went to bed at 8:30, and it's great for me because I cannot watch Hillary Rodham Clinton without feeling like I'm going to spontaneously human combust. So the fact that I missed all three, but I did read up on it today, and you know, I don't find it the end of the world when Trump says that. I know, you know, that everybody's freaking out now, but. Honestly, Bill, it seems like we don't have any memory now. Didn't Gore just do this? Didn't Gore?
Gore was after the fact, though. He didn't set it up that way. That's what the outcry is. I mean, look, Trump is Trump, and whatever he says, I don't get real up or down on it. But he just gives the enemy, 80% of the media, the enemy, just a hammer, just a pawn him.
You remember Mitt Romney was the opposite of Trump. Would you not say the two men could not be more opposite in the way they approach it?
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Do you remember them wading into Mitt Romney?
A little, but not like this. I mean, if you look at the Trump coverage, it's savage.
Well,
Romney, they didn't like him, and he was the rich guy who didn't care about anybody. But boy, Trump, they take him apart.
Billy, do you think this election even matters? I mean, I know people say it's. I think it's. You know, we've been out on the road. I think the ship has sailed.
Well, maybe the ship has sailed. But the Supreme Court, all right, is very, very important. I mean, I was shocked last night when Hillary Clinton actually said to everybody, you know what, you can kill the unborn up until the minute they're born if there's a problem with the mother's health. I mean, you know what that is. You know what that guy Tiller was doing out in Kansas. I mean, and what the guy Gosnell was doing in Philadelphia.
Now listen, the left believes in cradle-to-grave entitlement. They just make it hard to get to the cradle.
But here's the look. 8 years ago, Hillary Clinton could never have said that. That would have caused all kinds of outrage in this country.
Well, that's what I mean when I say the ship has sailed, Bill. You remember when that Martin, whatever his name was, O'Malley, apologized for saying all lives matter? We've just given $150 billion in unmarked bills to Iran, for God's sakes. 33,000 emails. Like taken away, and people say Comey's a fair man. They're firebombing people they don't agree with. We have malevolent do-gooders now firebombing deplorables because they think they're righteous and right. It's gone. I
think it can come back, but not if the Supreme Court gets two more Ruth.
I think it's like Lord of the Flies, Billy. One side or the other has the conch shell. They've got the conch now, and I expect my skull to be beaten in by it. They play rough over there.
You're going to vote.
I'll vote because of the troops.
Yeah, you got to vote.
Anytime any kid goes across the world and fights for me in some hellhole, of course you go out and vote. But do I think the ship has sailed? Yeah, I do. The logs in the flume. Like I've told you before, I feel like an expatriate living in a foreign country that used to be my own country, and I'm going to lock a grin on. When in the gloaming, do as the gloamers do.
I don't really know what that means, but it sounds really good.
It's like when in Rome, do as Romans do. Yeah. We're in the gloaming. The sunset. It's not what it used to be.
There's Miller back from scaring the animals.